Everybody. So today I want to talk about, is the New Age demonic and should we all become Christians? Hmm. The reason I was compelled to make this video is mainly because as an observer of this New Age industry, being a part of it for a very long time, I've noticed that over the last few years, a lot of people have kind of been leaving the New Age movement, quote unquote. And I just want to kind of break down why this is happening, in my opinion, from my perspective, and whether this is a good or a bad thing. I kind of want to analyze that in this video and kind of share my thoughts and perspective on this. So, first of all, let's kind of define what a New Age person is. I think let's just get to the next slide. So, as I said, what is a New Age person? I think the term New Age is far too generalized, and most New Age people don't really call themselves New Agers. Like I certainly never called myself a New Ager. You know, um, I've been pretty much one of these things at some point in my life. I've been an Eastern religion guy. Been a Taoist guy. I attended Buddhist school in Japan. I've surrounded myself with hippies and psychedelic people and things like that. Rasta people. I used to listen to reggae a lot. Have friends that really listen to reggae like Bob Marley and stuff. I've been around pagans like occultists and shamans, that type of people. Been around manifestors, still do manifesting work all the time. Been around like self-help people. Maybe they don't fit into the New Age category, but some of these people practice meditation and like really holistic health. So that's why I included them. They're probably one category that probably could have been excluded from this list, but I put it there anyways because some self-help people don't believe in religion or Christianity, but they practice meditation and like holistic health. So I put it there. And light workers and energy healers, these are probably like the closest to New Age people, you know. Um, but yeah, like I said, like New Age was not never really clearly defined. I think, like I said, astrologers, light workers, energy healers are generally speaking like New Age people, but the New Age kind of even like, Taoist and Buddhist and just Rastafarians and like manifestors are typically put into that box. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Um, but I think it's really rare that people say like, hey, I am a New Age person. Like Christians will say I am a Christian, but I've never heard like an energy healer, like an astrologer say, hey, I am a New Age person. So I just wanted to mention that because I just think that's very interesting. So the mindset when the New Age started to like really explode, like, when I witnessed the explosion of like the New Age becoming super popular over the last decade or so, the general mindset, the general attitude people had towards the New Age movement being great was that New Age is the truth and religion is outdated because religion, we were taught that, came from like a very long history. And yeah, that's what we were told, like, religion was just old, outdated, just garbage. And the New Age is the truth that's been suppressed. That was kind of the general attitude people had. And also, um, religion was inhibiting us from like going within. Religion was teaching us some truth, but not the entire truth. So like I said, like the general attitude really, really, really was focused on the idea that, you know, just religion was just garbage and it's old. And like this new age movement is like making a resurgence and like we're trying to evolve our consciousness and become a god, become like we go within and like we see the truth and like we become one and things like that. That was kind of the general attitude. And like that seemed appealing to a lot of people because like, some people, especially like within the Catholic Church and stuff like that, they saw like a bunch of abuse. So that also contributed to, the a lot of people, leaving Christianity and religion. And like I think like, when people started to really practice meditation and psychedelic drugs and things like that, and consumed them, they really started to have some people started to have euphoric experiences. It was like, used to heal mental illnesses. So that was kind of seen as a positive thing. So all this stuff pretty much um, resulted in like a lot of people moving towards the new age about a decade or so ago. And, religion was kind of seen as like just old garbage, outdated stuff. Let's just all leave that behind. So that was kind of the general attitude people had. I also would like to mention that, you know, back in the day with the UFO conspiracies and like the 2012 event, all that stuff I think led a lot of people over to and the ancient alien shows and things like that. That was very popular back in the day. All that stuff really sparked an interest in people wanting to become quote unquote New Agers. But things have gradually started to change recently. People who are really indulged in New Age practices, quote unquote meditation, psychedelics, some people that went really, really far with these practices, they started to encounter either good entities or bad entities. Some people got really, really freaked out and like, freaked out because they started to encounter dark entities. They started to encounter demons, quote unquote. I've heard that many times. And some people started to encounter the opposite, angelic beings, like heavenly, beautiful, just, you know, godlike, beings. And that's a good thing. A lot of people started to have those encounters and they started to make a biblical connection with spiritual experiences one way or another. And also, like, unlike a decade ago when like flat Earth and Tartaria theory and things like that wasn't really around, like unlike now, these things didn't exist back then, but now they do, and now they're very popular. And like these theories contributed a lot of people to making a biblical connection to yeah, these conspiracy theories and like the New Age movement kind of started to like make less and less sense. And obviously political influences contributed a big time to this New Age movement not becoming so popular as well. Because the thing is, a lot of people, a lot of conservative people, a lot of LGBTQ people, there's a lot of division. Whether I'm not saying like, one is better than the other, but there's just a lot of division, a lot of confusion when it comes to like what is right and wrong these days and stuff. And a lot of LGBTQ people in general embrace like the rainbow color and stuff. And some people kind of make a connection there and started to think like, okay, like liberals are, basically like new age people. They're hippies and they're just like degenerates, so to speak. And people kind of started to look at them that way. And like, some of the people that were in the new age that were had a more of a conservative attitude started to, due to being politically influenced by these people, started to kind of shun away from like the new age movement and they kind of reverted back more towards Christianity and things like that. So that played a huge role for sure, political influences. And like I said, I'm not, you know, I don't have an opinion one way or another when it comes to politics. I think both sides have a pretty legitimate um, viewpoint, and they both make like pretty good arguments when it comes to what is right and wrong, in my opinion. And more importantly than anything, I think the reason like people really start to see like the flaw or like the problem in the new age is because people that are really practicing intense energy work, like, like opening up chakras and Dantians and things like that, really started to really began to like get hurt and like, they became really sick. And some people, it became like pretty psychotic. I mean, if you've been watching me and following my work over the years, you kind of see me like get super emotional and like make videos like ranting and stuff, so you know what that's like. You guys certainly have seen me um kind of go through my own fair share of, doing intense energy work and kind of having a, you know, breakdown, mental breakdown almost. So, yeah. Okay, so as a result of all this stuff, like, lately a lot of people have started to leave New Age religion, and as a result, people are either, like fully Christians now, or they're kind of like Christians and something else. Like, they're maybe like Christians, but like still kind of do some occult or New Age practices. They're still somewhat open-minded to other theories, but people that left the New Age, and like, either way, they seem to embrace like the Christian ideology and have like a huge respect for their belief system. So that's something that I've observed. So where am I at? So obviously, I'm not a Christian, but I don't have a fixed viewpoint. I never did. I never claimed to be like a Taoist, a Buddhist, or whatever. Like, I don't never claim to be like a manifesting guy. Like I never even I'm nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't mind. I respect Christianity. I respect Islam. I respect religion. Like religion's cool. I've always had respect for religion. And God, whether God is like within or outside, or whether God is the sun, whether God is all things, like, you know what I mean? Whether the God is the universe, like, I don't know. Like, I'm, I respect God, whatever it is. And, you know, I have unconditional love no matter what. Well, it's hard to embrace unconditional love, that mentality, but I try to as much as I possibly can. I try to have understanding and compassion for all things. Um, and like, this is the controversial belief that is not popular, and it's something that I probably get criticized for whenever I speak about it. But a lot of people, and this is something I think that's common within like religious people and like the new age quote unquote people, and that is the idea that you know, should we love other beings, other entities, quote unquote demons and stuff. I think the general attitude is like there are enemies, we should hate them, and I get that. But frankly, for me, like I never really had like a direct experience with these quote unquote entities and beings. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of hypocritical for me to hate something that is, you know, that I've never even experienced before, right? And I'm not, if I'll be lying to you if I say I don't fear them because, like, we've been told that there's bad beings and, like, Hollywood and, like, pop culture kind of brainwashed us to believe in that. You know, there's dark beings out there and they're bad and they need to be, like, treated like crap. But I don't know. I also don't believe in like embracing a victim mindset. And like, I also don't believe in like empowering them. And I also believe in not fearing them. So I don't know. I'm kind of neutral on that. And I'm just a neutral person. So when it comes to respecting other demons and entities or whatever you want to call them, I don't know. I'm just kind of neutral on that. I don't have an opinion one way or another. And I'm certainly not gonna, if I ever encounter them somehow, I'm not gonna like say like I hate you, I'm probably gonna just say, okay, you're cool, just leave me alone, I'm gonna love you no matter what, but just leave me the heck alone if you're gonna try to bother me. So, and like, ultimately this is the last point that I want to make is I pray to God. And then this is something that honestly I started doing a lot lately, because never know. I mean, Christianity might be the truth, and everything I've ever practiced might have been demonic and wrong. Like I've heard I heard a rumor that John Chang was Christian. It could be a rumor, I don't know. But my point is, like, I practice both. I practice religion, so to speak. I practice prayer. I practice praying to God. I don't go to church, but sometimes I'll like, walk by a Catholic church. There's like a Catholic church near my house, and sometimes I hear this beautiful bell ringing and I just go and I pray, just near the building. And obviously I still practice meditation and manifesting and a little bit of tiny bit of energy work here and there just to, if I have like, aches or injuries or something, I'll just run some energy, but that's just kind of where I'm at with my belief. In conclusion, um, My hope is that I hope that we can live in a world where we can have mutual respect and understanding for all things. You know what I mean? We're not stuck into a dogmatic, fixed viewpoint. Christianity is the way, New Age is the way. Like, I really hope that we can kind of coexist and we can kind of see like things from a much more neutral, broad perspective where God is a separate entity, but maybe we are his children and maybe there is truth in the fact that we should go within and we should become gods one day. Maybe there is some truth to that. So my hope is that, we can unravel the truth on what really the truth is soon. So that's my hope, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense for what I said at the end. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please thumb up and like the video. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and continue to enjoy my content. So, okay, well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.